How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 best Pokemon ROM hacks or Game Boy ROM hacks for your Android and iPhone devices. Now, before we get started, there's a few things I just need to make sure that I point out here, because they're really important if you want to play these. First of all, you'll be needing to get yourself an emulator of a Game Boy emulator, essentially, on your iPhone device or your Android device. To get these emulators, it's really simple. Just go on YouTube and search one up, or go and download My Boy or GBA iOS, which are different ones that you can use for different devices. Some of them are actually charged, some of them are free, but look for the free version. It should work equally as good as the paid version, so don't worry about that. This is all free, you don't need to pay for anything. Either way, if you guys want to just start playing this, it's gonna be pretty easy. All you have to go and do is go to the description down below, guys, and check out a website called OperationIDroid.com. It's a website owned by another YouTuber where you guys can go and download some of the ROM hacks that he has kind of put on there and you can try out. And we're going to be counting down top 5 of the best GBA ROM hacks for the Android and iPhone devices. So if you guys are excited and ready to watch, let's get right into this. But prior to that, I want to say just a huge thank you, and let's get right into this countdown video. Number 5. So coming in first on this list, guys, or rather on the 5th place, is going to be Pokemon Clover. Now, this is a game that I have to point out really a lot of major things about. First of all, this is a very offensive and kind of mature game. If you can't handle really edgy humor and stuff that is very on the brink of, like, you know, just kind of pushing the limit, then please do not play this game. It's a very edgy and kind of, you know, on the new level sort of game. On the other hand, it does feature some really cool stuff, and it has some really funny and interesting Fakemon. Now, features for this game are pretty interesting. So it has 386 original Fakemon in it, as per se, which is pretty awesome, if I'm going to be honest. It has enhanced audio sampling, and also a brand new custom, like, music set. Now, this is what I think is the best, because this game actually mixes in a lot of memes, so a lot of meme music that you can hear on the internet, and a lot of memes that you've seen are essentially going to be in this game. You can kind of hear the music mixed in with the real Pokemon music in really cool, like, mixes. It does also include the fairy type, which is interesting. They added that as well. They have a really weird, kind of also funny wonder trading system, which I think is great. They have mug shots and stuff for all the important characters in the game, so it's really nice that you have this kind of extra RPG element to it, which I think is lovely. They also have a custom Pokeball on this, essentially that's made in China to be kind of a budget Pokeball. It's really weird, it's funny, but it's also cheaper than a normal Pokeball, so you can get it way, way cheaper and way, way better. They have the Black and White 2 repel system, which is awesome, and they have very, very, very many new, like, custom items and that sort of stuff. They have some extra, like, moves and stuff that I haven't seen before, kind of mixed up, and honestly, some of the most insane and hilarious Fakemon you'll ever see. So if you're looking for an edgy, funny, and very interesting game with lots of really stupid and freaky and just funny Fakemon, then this is the game for you. So, of course, going to be a link to Pokemon Clover down below if you want to go and download it. Either way, let's go to the next one on the list. Number 4. Now, coming in next on the list is going to be Pokemon Adventure Red Chapters. Now, there are a little bit of a different amounts of chapters here. They're working on different versions of this game, but Red Chapters is essentially a story that follows Red from the Pokemon manga. So the game essentially is just a retelling of the manga. Sort of, if you guys have played ever Pokemon Ash Gray, that's sort of what this is. So there are a lot of features I want to go through, and I actually think it is probably one of the best ROM hacks out there when you think about it. It really, really, really is just a really well-made piece of work, like, genuinely. Either way, the story follows the manga exactly, with a few extra features, of course. Only Boy is playable, which makes sense following the manga. All Pokemon are catchable eventually, which means that some are locked off for a certain amount of time. Poliwhirl is your starter Pokemon, which, you know, coincides with the manga, essentially. Blue and Green make more appearances in this than they would usually do if you were playing Pokemon Fire Red or something like that. New tiles, maps, textures, items, and trainer classes, and Pokemon sprites are added, of course, to kind of coincide with the manga itself. Game would have an optional event that will change the storyline, so there are parts that can change the storyline, but I'm not sure if they are really that deep to the point where they would actually maybe ruin, you know, what the manga was. So I don't know what to say about that, guys. I would just say this, though. It definitely is a game that has a lot to offer. If you haven't read the Pokemon manga, which I do highly recommend, if you don't want to read it, and if you don't have the time to read it, maybe just playing this game would be enough. I actually think it definitely should be enough, and it should give you a decent amount of look into it. Now, this game is the only one on this list that I can think of that isn't 100% completed yet, but is so far into development that you can already play so much of it. So it is still in like a beta stage, but there are so many things already completed in it. So if you want to play it, go right ahead. This is a game that is about completed, not 100%, but almost there, just literally on the edge of being fully completed. And it's got essentially a lot of features, and it's just a great game to play if you want to see a retelling of the Pokemon manga. Either way, let's go into the next one on the list. Number 3. Now, coming in next is going to be Pokemon Sweet, which is a completed Pokemon ROM hack that you guys can play on your GBA, essentially emulators, on your Android or iPhone devices. This is a game that has been out for quite a long time, and there is a lot of things just to talk about it in regards to the fact that this game is really different. So Pokemon Sweet version is a game where you take on a beautiful universe where everything is just made out of candy. It's like a wonderland of candy, and it is supposed to be essentially Kanto. It is quite interesting and very unique. Now, what's really interesting is that it comes with brand new type chart with over like 12 new types. That's just insane. It has 151 Pokesuites to capture. So instead of being Pokemon, they're Pokesuites. And what I think is really cool about this game is that they actually have crafting. You can actually craft Pokesuites or craft them from certain berries that you find. It's so insane, it's so weird, and it's just incredible. It also does say that most trainer battles are double battles, which is also interesting. I don't really see much of that in most fan games and stuff, like, you know, ROM hacks and stuff. So that's pretty interesting. And the Pokesuites are based on Pokemon from all the 5 generations at the time this was being made, because this is a very old ROM hack, so it doesn't include the latest stuff like, you know, Gen 6 and, you know, so on and so forth, Gen 7 and whatnot. It doesn't include those, but does include all the way up to Gen 5, which should be decent, because this is, again, a ROM hack, so don't expect to be looking around for actual Pokemon, you know, that are real ones. This is all essentially just these Pokesuites, which are custom-made ones. You have a new rival in this, you know, you don't have Blue and whatnot, or, you know, Gary, or whatever you want to call him. You have a different person you take it on, and overall, it just feels like it's a really interesting game with a really interesting plot that I don't want to go too deep into because it could ruin the fun for you, but it's pretty interesting. You can also rematch the gym leaders after you defeat them, and the game has a lot of new music in a lot of different areas, which is just great. I love when these fan games or ROM hacks tend to have their own new, unique soundtracks. It's always great. But either way, that's going to be it for this one, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list. Number 2. Now, coming in next is going to be Pokemon Resolute. This is a game that I just recently actually played and showcased. If you guys want to see a bit more gameplay of that game, you can go to my channel and search it up. Either way, Pokemon Resolute is a game that is a ROM hack based on the Emerald, the Emerald ROM essentially, or Pokemon Emerald rather. And this is a game that I think is actually really worth playing because it does offer a lot of interesting things. It has new gameplay with 3 regions, Ceylon, Tyron, and Johto. Of course, Johto we already know about, but they're adding this into the Emerald, ROM. So essentially, they're remaking Johto, but I guess they're kind of taking over from what they have from, like other games and just putting it in there. But my point still stands. They have remade Johto. They have a new region called Ceylon and Tyron. So there's 3 regions, okay? 3 regions to explore. That's a lot to do. There are difficulty modes in this, different difficulty modes you can take on. There is Mega Evolutions, which I'm a huge fan of. I love when there's Mega Evolutions in fan games. I don't know about you guys. If you like Mega Evolutions, this game has it, and it'll be awesome. So again, this is a ROM hack, so they will look a bit different, and evolving them is going to be a bit different from normally. Either way, they have a battle department in this, which I guess is an area you go to and you essentially just battle different people and whatnot. You have Pokemon from Gen 4, 5, and 6, so there are Gen 6 Pokemon in this. I actually think there are even Gen 7 Pokemon added in the latest version, because this game is completed, but there's still new things coming. Whenever there's a new thing announced, they tend to add it into the game. So I know there are Gen 7 Pokemon in this. I can confirm there are Gen 7 Pokemon in Pokemon Resolute version. Definitely. There's also new graphics that they've made their own, like, little tile sets and whatnot, updated them, changed them, which really looks great. The actual in-game character and the overworld sprite are freaking beautiful. Just great tile set and just awesome introduction to a game in the start when you start playing it. Just beautiful. But that's going to be that one, lads. Pokemon Resolute, definitely check it out. It's going to be linked down below for it, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list. Number 1. So coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be the most renowned and most well-known, or one of the most well-known, ever ROM hacks to be created, Pokemon Light Platinum, but not just the normal Light Platinum. This is Pokemon Mega Light Platinum. Now, what does the Mega actually add to it? Well, it makes sense. It adds Mega Evolutions. It is Pokemon Light Platinum, but with Mega Evolutions added to it. So if you guys haven't played Pokemon Light Platinum, you really should. It is one of the best Pokemon ROM hacks ever created. Actually, one of the best Pokemon, even fan games, I would consider it, ever created. It is insane, it is long, there's a lot of story to it, it's super well made, just a beautiful game with a lot of effort put into it. There is also a DS version being worked on, which you guys can definitely check out, but currently there is just a normal GBA version, which I would 100% recommend you all do check it out, play it if you can. It is worth your time, it is so worth just trying out and playing. It is such a beautiful game with so much to offer. I would 100% recommend it. Either way, back to the actual features of this game. So Pokemon, Mega freaking Light Platinum really just offers more stuff to it. We already have the basic stuff from the previous game. The normal version that doesn't have the Mega Evolutions. It's just, extra stuff added here. There's Mega Evolutions, new sprites, new events, new tiles, new regions, new leaders and Elite Four, new rivals, new storyline, Pokemon World Championship, includes Pokemon up to 4th gen, and Pokemon can be all captured, all the legendary Pokemon can be captured and all that stuff. So overall, this is one of the best ROM hacks out there, and with the Mega in the start there, you're going to be going in for a ride, and you're going to be getting yourself something awesome, like, the Mega Evolutions and stuff, and the extra sprites, features, and events are going to all be there. If you haven't played Light Platinum yet, definitely play it. It's a game with a great story and just a lot of things to offer. So many features and so beautiful and worth your while. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to try out these games, go to the link in the description down below. And also, if you don't know how to play these games, just check out Operation iDroid. His YouTube channel is also going to be linked down below because he knows properly how you can install these things. I may do a video tutorial in the future for how you guys can actually play these games yourself as well. If you don't find his videos on it, I could actually make a video of how to download the GBA emulator and you can play it yourself. Either way, guys, thank you so much for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, then drop a like down below. If there's any games you guys think I didn't mention that should be on here, let me know. Either way, guys, thank you so much for today. I'll see you all the next time. Peace out, have a great day, and bye bye.